The Big Issue. Breaking down the issues that matter.
Hello, everyone. You're welcome to Leadership Podcast. It is yet another edition of The Big Issue. And of course, as usual, I'm your regular host, George Jagba. And of course, with me here in the studio, our in-house analyst. And we have to my left here, Ejike.
Thank you for having me.
And of course, we have Tunde Okunsola.
Oh, thank you.
Today, we are going to address the big issue of the day, which is the arrest of Senator Rochas Okorocha, a presidential aspirant of the APC and former governor of Imo State, by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The EFCC on Tuesday arrested the presidential aspirant and former governor of Imo State, Okorocha, after a long siege to his Maitama residence in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. This is coming barely a week to the APC presidential primary. It calls for concern, according to most Nigerians. The EFCC officers whisked Okorocha away at exactly 6:48 p.m. in their vehicles after breaking into his living room. Minutes before the officers broke in, Okorocha, in a live video made on his official Facebook page, said officers of the commission had broken all his bulletproof doors. He said the AFCC operatives are here with some gunmen and they have broken all my bulletproof doors. This may be my last appearance because I don't know what they want to do. Okorocha and his family members were seen in the video running around the living room in fear of the officers who were banging on the door leading to the living room. Earlier on, the security operatives accompanying officials of the EFCC shot sporadically to disperse female supporters protesting at the governor's home in a show of solidarity. Well, I don't know, it was drama yesterday in Maitama, and you see, Nigerians can be so funny. You see, on the social media today, most Nigerians have started posting those sympathetic to Okorocha are saying that it is political vendetta, that the arrest is political more than the fight against corruption. And then those who are even making a comic relief out of it are there. What I saw, one posted on his Facebook wall today is to make the whole thing biblical for Okorocha. And this is see what somebody will face. He said, and when the EFCC came for Rochas, the grandson of Okorocha, he fell on his knees and prayed, help me, Lord God, from the hands of the Pharisees and Sadducees. And the Lord turned his back on Rochas, saying, you ignored my edict and sat in the council of the ungodly, and you deprived my children of basic amenities. You stole from the widow and pensioners. Verily, therefore, the EFCC shall come to you like a thief in the night, and they shall take you away, and they shall put you before a judge, and the judge shall send you to prison. For whatsoever a man soweth, he shall surely reap. Even same shall be visited upon your cohorts in Abia, Lagos, Imo, Kano, Cross River, and all across Nigeria. And you shall cry out to the people, and the people will not help you. For I am the Lord, the God of righteousness. Well, that is on a lighter note anyway. Nigerians can turn anything into jokes. Of course, that is how Nigerians are. It's been under severe poverty, and they will always have something to make for comic relief. But EJK, I think the reasons EFCC is given now is that Okorocha jumping bail. But what Nigerians are asking is that for how long? Why is it that it is just days? You're counting days to the presidential primary of the APC, in which he's contesting as an aspirant, that they are not coming after him.
Yeah,
Did Okorocha actually jump bail as the EFCC is claiming?
Mr. George, let me start with the comic relief, according to you. But I think from that line, the writer said the hand of God or whatever, the hand of judgment will visit
Okorocha,
across
the states.
I only wish that in reality, the EFCC will go after all governors who have been accused Because in this same country, we have governors who are under court protection, who have been banned from investigating. We have somebody like Peter Odile. He has perpetual injunction. You cannot investigate his tenure as a governor. Even when the federal government tried to evacuate it, at least it was retained. Till now, nobody has talked about it. We have a lot of them. We have Rotimi Amici. They had an issue before, and before you know, everything died down. And we have a lot of them. But that's by the way. Now, coming to the issue of today, which is Rochas Okorocha, I think it was a mistake on the part of the federal government and the EFCC. It's a wrong timing. I mean, you're talking about a serving senator who has been in the crowd, who has been going to the National Assembly, who has been around, who has been making us, who has been campaigning, moving around the country, campaigning. Just last week, he had a meeting with some people contenders where they try to harmonize. This man is not invisible. He has not been running. We have not been seeing him running. Before you go from one state to the other, for this big man, you must go through the airport. EFCC operating are everywhere in the airport. You cannot tell me that Okorocha jumped in, you have been looking for him, you cannot find him, and that's why you just decided to go and embarrass the nation. Did you watch that video? Did you see the way they were breaking and jumping into the
on top of the roof?
What if, God forbid, we are in a country like America where somebody can just have a gun and start shooting? As you're jumping in, you shoot you.
And it becomes
and at the end of the day, they will shoot him and they will say, okay, EFCC went and there was a shootout
and then he died in the process. Or he
what
was
will you
shot.
say? It's totally uncalled for. It was unnecessary. They would have waited for the man. EFCC used to be smarter than this. I've been covering the EFCC for over 10 years now. We have a situation where you just wait by the fence of the man's house. The man will not even know that you're waiting. As soon as the man is driving out, you just come out with your arrest warrant and you take the man.
Take him up.
They knew that Okorocha was going to be at the screening of APC. APC was doing a screening or is doing a screening openly. You can walk into that place and arrest him. You can walk in when he's coming out or when he's going in and arrest him. There are so many ways of doing this thing. I think it was beyond the issue of jumping bail. I believe there's nothing like jumping bail. They went to a court. There's ongoing court cases. There is nothing like jumping bail. They wanted to embarrass the man. They wanted to send a message to him and to whoever. Maybe it's a political. Because Okorocha, we talked to him yesterday. He said they wanted to truncate his political ambition. So the idea was to stop him from going for the screening so that he will not participate in the election, in the primaries. So I believe there's something behind the whole thing. It wasn't for that jumping bail.
Thank you very much, Ejike. Tunde, you heard what Ejike said. And, according to Ejike, I think it looks as if it is political. And I think there's a congruence of opinion among most Nigerians that it is political. Why didn't they allow Okorocha to go for screening? Why wait until screening day? Because naturally, the way it was, if not for yesterday or Monday, so it would have been the screening for the presidential aspirant, but it was now postponed. Why would they have to wait until that screening day before laying siege to his house?
Thank you, George, for that question. What I see that played out yesterday was just like a script, a already written script that was being played by the operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. It also showed that they are highly unprofessional in the discharge of their duties. You know, just like Rochas Okorocha, whose form was given to him by his supporters, and some candidates like Goodluck Ebele Jonathan also claimed that his form was brought for him
By a group of Fulanis and Amajiris.
You understand? Amajiris. And even though McBan and other groups said they were not the one that brought the form for him, Rochas Okorocha too was given a form by supporters to contest for this election under the platform of the ruling APC. However, one thing is for sure, Rochas Okorocha, I can say that he is in the APC for protection. Ordinarily, he should move to other parties, which I would not like to mention their name here, but he's in the APC, and he feels once, after all your corrupt deeds, after misusing public funds, then if you run to the ruling party, to be like an umbrella for you. and shadow you against on arrest or anything. But it's so sad that Okorocha was humiliated, which is just a case, a micro case among 1 in 100. You see, what happened in his house yesterday, I can simply say is nothing but jungle justice. It's not this, it's just the same way Okada riders lynch the workers at day market, those selling items at day market. It's just the same. What happened in his house is the same thing that happened on the streets on daily basis, which we condemn. Rochas Okorocha was arrested at the end of the day, which shows that it's a victory for the EFCC. But to Nigerians, it shows a total weak system. It shows that they are highly unprofessional in their conduct and they need to be trained. There's a need for training and more retraining
They are
of all
being used for political witch hunt.
well, they can be used, or even though they are not being used or being sent by someone. See, there are over 20, almost 30 aspirants of the APC contesting for this presidential election. Rochas Okorocha is just one. And I wish the FCC would also move across other candidates, not just Rochas Okorocha. So I don't look as if it's politically inclined for them for his arrest. His arrest was planned to humiliate and also kind of disgrace him. Going forward, I would like to advise the FCC to stop being a shame to us and they should respect human rights and
And then
respect
do their
human
job
dignity and
professionally.
do their job in line with global best practice.
Thank you very much. Before we continue, let's just quickly take a short break, hoping that our viewers will contribute constructively to the conversation on the big issue. Don't go offline. We'll be back in a moment.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
The Big Issue. Breaking down the issues that matter.
Welcome back. We are still on the big issue in Leadership Podcast. And of course, the big issue of the day is EFCC's arrest of Rochas Okorocha and other matters arising. Well, today, I think you've just corroborated what Ejike just said. Because Ejike had said that, just like other Nigerians who are saying that if it is political, is Okorocha the only aspirant that has issues with the EFCC? And Ejike said he just prayed that all this thing they are doing it will extend to other former governors and the rest. And you two, you just say it here. The EFCC should do its job in line with global best practices. If not, I would have said, asked, why would they narrow it down to Okorocha alone, as if he's the only presidential aspirant?
Just like how the Saudis always say they are marginalized.
You know,
Rochas Okorocha was also marginalized.
imagine, because what is source for the goose, what is source for the gander?
Yes, I think EFCC should go around and arrest all other people, not just limit it to Rochas Okorocha. He's not the only aspirant. There are other aspirants with billion van.
Thank you very much. Imagine,
There are some people who seems to be above the law. There are people who feel seems to be untouchable in this country, and it's so sad that we keep living in this kind of country where all these things happen. You understand?
imagine
Money is exchanging hands daily. I even heard of an aspirant who went with local vigilante groups and street boys to collect back his 86 million, which he gave to delegates.
yes, Yes, and I remember.
For-
Are you
for-
talking of the son of former vice president,
I did
Sambo?
not mention his name anyway. But I don't think, he did not mention his name. But as at yesterday night,
They said each aspirant got 2 million naira for him. Then at the end of the day, when they voted, at the end he got only 2 votes.
You understand?
So he now said, okay, they should return all the 2 million.
As at yesterday, we had it. They gave him back his money.
In natural sense, that aside, but it's important that we talk about it. This issue of indirect election and delegates, we are going to have situations like this.
Absolutely.
If we are 10 contesting, and the idea is that we are weighing the delegates.
Yeah.
Best bidder. If I give to 2 million,
Mm.
give for 4 million, you give 10 million, at the end of the day, they will go for the highest.
Of course.
Morally, they should return the money to the person.
Today,
2 million
So I don't blame the man for looking for his money.
but the truth of the matter is that you just sat on their own, you went and met them.
And that is why he went
You
illegally.
gave them the money.
Illegal. And he went illegally to collect his money. He didn't use police to harass them, to bring back the
No,
money.
but if I were those delegates, you know what I'll do? I will ask him, how do you know if he goes to one or other, if you come to me and say, how do you know I'm not among the 2 that voted for you?
Okay, I miss this insecurity.
You know?
So when the next thing we hear the shop or not gunmen.
You are just going to create problem.
I mean,
Give back the money. Since you did yourself,
you did not deliver.
And it's okay. Anyway, that one, police and EFCC can investigate.
Of course, it's by the way. But the HDK, when Rochas, let's come back to something I want. When Rochas was demanding for the warrant of arrest from EFCC, they said they were acting on order from above. What do the EFCC operatives? What do they mean by order from above? Is it the presidency or what kind of power from above were they referring to?
Understand
Yes.
EFCC, ICPC Act, NDLA Act.
Okay.
Some of these anti-graft evidence. Okay, let me talk about the Act, Excavation ICPC and EFCC. They have a right. The chairman of EFCC can order its operative to arrest anybody. And you bring the person in, pending whatever. His order is equal to warrant. We need to understand that.
Okay.
So when we are talking about warrant, there is a difference. When court summons somebody,
they give a warrant.
They give a warrant, or you can go and obtain warrant from the court to arrest someone like police. The powers given to chairman of EFCC and ICPC is that he on himself can notice a crime based on his investigation, and maybe the court is not available anything. He will say go and arrest this person.
That means the EFCC chairman has that kind of power to even issue a warrant on his own.
No, his word is a warrant.
His warrant on his own. That's what I say.
So at some extreme cases, so you don't need, people don't understand it. That's why you keep saying warrant. It's not. In fact, ICPC's one is even more dangerous. It's just that the man does not use his right. He can notice that Mr. Joy Agba collected 10 million and he doesn't understand it from your account. You can say, okay, arrest him and keep him for 30 days. And they'll be going to court until you prove that that money is for something legal. So we need to understand this. Now, Okorocha's case is that they said the jungle. That's the school of the EFCC. That is an ongoing 2.7 or 2.9 billion naira issue. According to them, they say they arrested him because the judge said, if you come to the court again without him, I'm going to throw away the case. Now, the question we are asking the EFCC now is the case coming up today? They went on Tuesday. Is the case coming up on Wednesday, Thursday?
We have not even heard that Okorocha has been taken to court.
So why are you doing something that will bring embarrassment to you and the nation? Why not allow the man to go for his primaries? We've had a situation.
Finish everything, then you
not
not go for him.
Situation. That's why when Obasanjo was in the power, people criticize him, but at a long run, you get to understand how the man handled Nigeria. He was with former IG of Tafa Balogun in a party over the night, and in the morning, Balogun was arrested. There are so many intelligent ways of doing this thing. Allow Okorocha to be there in order to avoid any embarrassment
and suspicion.
Okorocha will go for a screening.
Yes.
When they are even doing the screening, after the screening,
you cannot go
for say, Okorocha, come with us. We are going to come. Or the primary is even ahead. We are talking about screening. Let him go for the screening and come out. You arrest him. If he finishes before the voting, he will go for his voting by next week or Saturday, Sunday.
Yes.
So why did you have to go and embarrass him? That's why I told you that it's a message. They were sending a message to aspirants. It's not only Okorocha.
Yes.
I'm predicting that we're going to have situations like this
in a few days to come.
Yes. Because even in PDP, even in has an immunity as a governor. Wike should have been the next target. But because he's a governor, he has an immunity. Because Wike and the EFCC, I think there are some petitions waiting for him to finish. So I will not be surprised if we keep having such cases come up. And Mr. George, if I must add, I think all these things boils down to consensus for the election, for the primaries. Some people, it's obvious that some people are not agreeing to terms with some people. So the higher people will use connections to deal with the lower people.
Yes, I agree with you, educators. That is flat. Most Nigerians now are beginning to think that it is a dummy being sold to the presidential aspirants by the powers that be. Let me see, put it so, without mentioning name, so you get the president. By the powers that be, they are selling this dummy and say, come, see what we'll do to you. If you try to tell us that we are not agreeing to consensus, you understand? Okay, well, before we continue, I think we're beginning to get reactions from our viewers. And of course, we have Opisa Nasiru, and he has this to say. What about Tinubu, Atiku, Osibanjo, and Co? Kai. He's actually saying what we have here. And of course, we have James Albert. James Albert says Nigeria is a land of atrocity, nothing else. Even common animals are dying less than the way humans are dying in this country. Well, Albert is worried about the insecurity situation. Although he has a point, but we are talking about financial crime here and not insecurity anyway. But although there is that correlation,
Because
what it means that everything is possible in this country. Just like I was saying, you see, the fact is that most people are thinking that since there are feelers that President Muhammadu Buhari will actually force the APC to come to narrow down to a consensus candidate for the presidency, the way he did in the last national convention where the NWC members were picked. Adamu came out and made the consensus candidate and his preferred candidate. So that is coming down. And you see, in the past days, the governors, they have been meeting, the APC governors, the NWC, they have been meeting. And today, I think the APC aspirants, presidential aspirants, will meet the president at the presidential villa. So now, with the arrest of Okorocha, just in the heat of the moment, in this period, just like you rightly say, it's enough to raise that kind of suspicion. Because, but like someone saying that Okorocha is just a dummy being sold to the presidential aspirant, so that those who might think that they will grandstand and say, well, we will not agree consensus, will begin to know that yes, they are in the pipeline. Any attempt, they might just dust their dossier and show them.
Well, to me, Rochas Okorocha is not just a dummy; it's also a scapegoat to let other politicians know that we can come for
That
you.
is the point we are making. That is an unhealthy subject to scapegoatism.
Yes, so but Rochas Okorocha on his part knows fully well that while even as the governor of Imo State, he did not deliver well, despite all the media hype in terms of developmental projects. If you go to Imo State now, I can bet you that there's barely good roads to pass. All those roads, the citizens there are tagging it China Road. Those roads are just last within 2 years, 3 years, and they are all washed away and bad. In fact, the situation is now more worse than how he met it. Because in the process of trying to refurbish the road, you scrape all the older ones, then bring a new one, and yet it has nothing to write home about. You understand? So, but in the case of like perhaps maybe the powers that be sent EFCC to arrest Okorocha, well, it can be so. Yeah, I'm fully aware that before all arrests like this have been made, the EFCC chairman must have made his findings and even briefed the president on it before going ahead to do so. Because it does not say he worked for himself; he's working for someone who is the president. So perhaps it must have been ordered that after all this evidence you've gathered, please go for him. EFCC is not ready to lose case again. We know that for sure. So they are doing all they want to do to ensure that anybody who is an offender is get arrested as well as prosecuted.
Well, of course, I agree with you, Tunde. Sorry to disturb. Let me just chip in before I will. You see, naturally, what you say, your point, good and fine. We are not saying that Okorocha's hands are clean. Naturally, we know very well that most of these past former governors and the rest, they have skeleton in their cupboard. You see, what Nigerians are saying is not as if they are saying that Okorocha is a saint. They are actually interrogating wherein the real motive behind EFCC's action. And
the way they executed it. Now, why I say that I did not totally agree with you. We are not judges here.
Not at all.
Of course, we there are cases. Yes, investigation must go on.
Yes.
Go to the court.
Yes.
If the court finds him guilty, you go for it. Our own is to report and analyze. Now, Okorocha, whatever I did in Imo State, EFCC, they have the information, they are prosecuting him. The case, he has been arrested for it. The case is ongoing. Okorocha is within the country, even in the nation's capital. He's not even in Imo. Okorocha has never even been that kind of person that you say he went to US
or he traveled.
He has always been within the country.
Yes.
Why go as if I must catch this man today? He must not go out today. No, if he goes out, something will spoil. Yes. So it's better I keep him. That is the problem.
That is the idea. The timing.
Why did you go in such a
I tagged this arrest jungle justice.
Yeah,
of course.
You understand?
Yes.
Yeah. So if we want a situation, Nigerians will want a situation where we have anti-graft agencies that will do their work without.
Yes.
We know there will be elements of interference, but at least to some level of
professionalism.
Without infringement on their personal mind.
So you go be smart about it.
Thank you very much, EDK. Well, that is the much we can take for today's edition of the big issue. And of course, it is an unfolding event. The anti-graft agency said they arrested Rochas Okorocha for jumping bail. But most Nigerians are not satisfied with that explanation. They are asking why now, a few days to the APC presidential primary, in which Okorocha is contesting as an aspirant. Well, as the days goes by, we will begin to know what could really be the motive behind the arrest of the former governor of Imo State. Thank you for keeping tab with us. Of course, I'll thank our in-house analysts for addressing the big issue the way it should be. Join us same time tomorrow for another edition of this program. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.